How many years now have you been a metabolic reset coach?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So where were you when it started? I know you're a chiropractor.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
Dr. Mike Mills to make it official.
Yeah.
But you're a chiropractor, and why the decision to swim upstream and get on the front lines and do what you're doing now?
Yeah, after 10 years in practice, I just was seeing in my patients that there was something that was missing, right? That lifestyle had to be addressed.
Yeah.
And without addressing lifestyle, we just were not going to get to the root cause, and not to get too technical on it, but, when your lifestyle is uh, when your lifestyle isn't in line, you're not creating like an environment in your body where you can heal,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's a musculoskeletal thing or an organic thing or whatever's going on in your body, your metabolic health has to be in line for your body to be able to heal and recover and function like it should.
Yeah. What are you seeing? The big buzzword lately is metabolic health.
Yeah.
First of all, can you explain what is your metabolic health, and how do you know if you're in a state of dysfunction?
Yeah. So, in the simplest terms, your metabolic health is your body's ability to take your food and turn it into energy in the body in an efficient and effective way. When that starts breaking down, the earliest symptoms of that are something that a lot of times people are just putting off or they're treating with Starbucks, right? Like their energy's off, they just feel their energy waning in the middle of the day. And really this is all predicated on your insulin levels, right? When your insulin levels are spiking throughout the day, I mean, it's just going to create these energies, highs and lows. You feel off, you're not mentally clear. It creates an inflammatory response in the body. And that inflammation is affecting everything. And so metabolic health is critical. Like this isn't a fad. This is just putting language to something that we've seen going on in people's lives for a long time.
Do you now you and your wife Amy have taken your health to a complete next level? I mean, in fact, a couple of years ago we competed in a bodybuilding show together. That's not exactly duplicable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like our program, and who is the ideal client? Where is that person today sitting, and who makes a great client of ours?
Yeah. Really, I think we address the biggest concern. We address the biggest group of people out there that, a lot of times I say it this way. There's 10% of people at the top that they are us. They're metabolically obsessed. They're working on their health in every way. And there's another group of people, that 10%, that they're not really interested in their health, right? They're happy with where they are and they really don't want to do anything. But in the middle, there's this group of 80% of people, the moms and dads and grandmas and our relatives and friends and family, that are stuck in the standard American diet, the standard American lifestyle, the go of society, which is creating tons of mental, emotional stress, which is throwing our hormones off. We're sleep deprived as a nation. Our nutrition is just awful, to say the least. We live in a society where it's like 23% of adults have zero physical activity in a day. Okay, so that's who we're for.
Yeah.
We're for that major group that's saying, I'm listening to all the videos. I got so many influencers in my head. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do, right? And they're just being, honestly, they're lost. And what they need is something that's sound. Like the research that we're putting out now is, I always say to people, look, if you're looking for results, we're for you.
Yeah. Our company recently ran a 16-week scientific study to the gold standard.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing what happened for many of our clients and seeing, targeted visceral fat, 98% muscle retention. Going after people with high cholesterol. I mean, of course, all of these were put to the gold standard and put through a DEXA, did their blood work before they did that. What are you seeing in your patients, in your practice, and in your day-to-day lives of some of the results that you're seeing firsthand through the clients that you and Amy are supporting?
It is a complete reversal of metabolic dysfunction, right? And one of the things that we actually do now is look at people's body composition because it's a window into their metabolic health. And look, this isn't just about weight issues anymore either, right? This is about metabolic health. So let me define what I mean by that. Like there's times that I'm doing an in-body scan on someone who may be 130 pounds at their ideal weight, but they're 48% body fat, right? So they're sarcopenic obese, meaning they're so under-muscled that they're obese even though their weight is normal. And that's creating the same inflammatory response, right? So there's 5 areas of metabolic dysfunction. There is high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high blood cholesterol, increased weight circumference, and low HDL. Those are the 5 areas we're looking at. If you have 3 of those, you have a medical diagnosable syndrome, right? If you have any one of those, you have metabolic dysfunction. And 90% of the adult population in America has one of those 5. So this is something that impacts a lot of people. So the clients that we're working with, the patients in the office, I mean, we do labs, we do body scans, right? I know, not only from the research, but from my clinical experience that, we are going to improve your blood sugar. We are going to improve your blood cholesterol. We're going to decrease your visceral fat, right? Your energy levels, your mental clarity, your hormonal levels are going to stabilize. So much of what we do in healthcare is we're just working downstream. What we're looking at in blood work are really effects, right? But sometimes we treat them like they're the cause.
Right. So changing gears a little bit towards coaching. You not only got on, and you and Amy went on and did the program yourself. And I know you definitely improved your metabolic health.
100%.
But you really decided to not just offer it to a few patients and friends and family. You guys chose, what was it, about 5-6 years ago, to go all in and really pursue and swim upstream with us. Of course, I've been with the company 16 years. You're a doctor. You're in the top 5% of income in America as a doctor. Right? If you don't mind me asking, where would you put your income with what we're doing here over the last 5 years comparable to doctor? Are you close to where you're at in your day-to-day doctor income? Are you making more in the metabolic health area here? Like, talk a little bit about just people that are really looking at this as a career and the amount of impact. We're not just changing lives. They pay us really well to be on the front lines fighting obesity.
100%. Yeah. Look, this has replaced my income and more from what I was doing in chiropractic. And that was very successful for me. And I can tell you, being in this industry for a long time, it's not that providers, healthcare providers, doctors don't know that this is necessary. Really, the struggle is they've never seen a way to have a program that's a win for the client, meaning it's affordable to them. Like, what we do for a client is cost neutral for them, right? We don't add anything to their budget. But yet the model is financially beneficial from a business standpoint to the provider, right? Because healthcare is a business too. I mean, we make our living in healthcare. So, but because the wellness industry, there was never a model that allowed people to succeed financially in the wellness industry. So they looked at it as, a vertical in their practice, right? Again, another income stream, but not as the thing or the potential to do that. And, our time is valuable. So that's what I saw in this. And, really what I know is that 90% of the patients that walk into everybody's office have metabolic dysfunction.
They do.
And if our goal is ultimately to get people well, right, then there has to be some sort of system to address that. Right? Like, I mean, it's great that I can, improve people's health and neurological function with chiropractic adjustments. But if they don't bring their lifestyle online, we're never going to get them healthy. But again, I'm in private practice. I'm a sole owner of the practice. It has to be profitable. Right? And so much in the wellness industry is really not profitable on a scale where you can sustain yourself on it. This is a model that you can sustain your lifestyle in the wellness industry, and that's powerful.
So knowing what you know now, where you are 7 years later, there's a lot of health professionals. The former Mike is on the other side of that camera. What would you have to say to the old Mike or that guy that's watching this right now that says, you know what, could there be a better way? Maybe this is the way it is. Maybe they've reached the top of their income class and their input class and exploring what this could do. Turn and talk to him for a moment.
Be curious, be open. I know your heart is to serve people. Your heart is for people to become optimally well. And right now you have a model that's providing some form of income for you. And we're not going to disrupt that, right? I think that's where a lot of people get concerned. Like, well, is this going to disrupt what I already have going on? We're not going to disrupt that. We're going to come in and add a layer that gives you the potential to step into an arena that the scalability, the possibilities of what this can create far exceeds what this could be over here, even if you maximized it. And so be open, be curious, have the conversation and see what this could look like for you. Because, you know, like in chiropractic, it's a very hands-on physical profession, right? To think about doing that in your 50s and 60s sometimes is a physical limitation. What if you could use the knowledge that you have, the passion that you have, the heart you have for helping people in a way that you could expand your sphere? You're not limited to people that can physically drive to you. You're able to connect with people all over the United States and soon the world as we take this international. And you can use technology like this to connect with people, serve them, and impact their lives in a way that I never had a way to truly transform someone's life the way I do now.
Yeah. And you're doing a great job at it too. Amy, you had some questions.
Yeah. And also, I just want to add on to that. A big part of our story is it gave you time. It gave you a lot of time.
Yeah.
If you want to address that a little bit too.
You know, just in speaking to the practitioner out there that is spending a lot of time away from your family. There's a lot of ball games. There's a lot of band concerts that you can't be at. This completely changed all of that for me. When you have a significant additional income stream, you start to be able to take back the thing that's actually the most precious to you, and that's time. And I didn't miss that stuff. And it was because I had this additional stream of income. And the security that has provided for my family is something as a provider, man, that means a lot to me.
I'm thinking in 15 years, I can count on one hand the amount of events or important events, even ball games or dance ballets, that I have ever missed with all four of my kids combined. And that's because I decided to do something different, and I had to get away from what I always knew and literally swim upstream. And I joined this movement to create a life that I could have never had before, but also to make an impact that I could have never done on my own, just staying in my own city. And so the work we do as coaches is noble, it's valuable, it's needed, and we're giving coaches and people their time back to be the dad and the mom or the friend or the pastor or the doctor that they always wanted to be. So.
Yeah, you know, Doug, and you were one of the people on our journey that inspired us and helped us to see that life can be different.
Yeah.
It's just a powerful thing to think about, because sometimes we just get stuck in this place that we start saying things like, this is just the way life is.
Yeah.
No, if there's one thing I wake up with on my heart every day that I want to share with people, whether it relates to their health or the business opportunity, is that life can be different. Your health doesn't have to be where it is right now. And look, I didn't come to this program in a health crisis. I was a health-oriented person. I exercised. I ate nutritious food. I had a Jack LaLanne juicer. I was making kombucha. Like, you know, I was the health-conscious person, but to be honest with you, I wasn't getting the return on investment I thought I should have. For the amount of time and effort I was putting in, I didn't feel the way that I wanted to, and I didn't have the physique that I thought the effort I was putting in should produce. And this just made it all simple for me. It took something that was complex and made it simple.
We do. We take literally coaches all over, and we just get them on the path to optimal health and get their body literally metabolically reset. And now just to see, then the knowledge comes, and then we start learning. We didn't know what we were missing. And it was even neat. Last night you showed me that photo of the first time we ever met, which was like, six years ago.
Yeah.
Six, seven.
Yeah. We both looked a little wet behind the ears.
We did, but now look at the muscle you put on.
Oh man!
And really how I've really so much leaned out since we so much made building muscle an important part.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where we take people, right? The initial reset is powerful. I mean, getting your metabolic function synchronized and online is the first step, but it is just that, the first step. You know, then it is, you know, how do we optimize that? And yeah, I mean, I added more muscle between, you know, 47 and 50 than I did in the 15 years. And it wasn't that I wasn't training as hard. I was training as hard before. I just didn't have the structure and the support. I didn't have myself in this kind of a community that, you know, inspired me to keep going. So it's powerful. I mean, don't put limits on yourself. Say, oh, I'm 50. Look, you can do whatever you want at 50.
Best time to start. Best time to start. Amy, do you have another question?
You know, I think as the world is changing and we're stepping into that space, especially with metabolic health, is what would make it important for somebody to come into this mission right now as a coach, as a client, as that to move in what we know is coming, that excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start. I'll tell you right now, one of the best things someone can do is actually take action today. I mean, we're winding down another year and America's hurting. Most people are not financially winning and most people are not physically winning. And, you know, just like you were saying earlier, Mike, only top 10% will step foot in a gym this next year. We might go to 14% in January and it'll go back to the same old 8, 9, 10% of people that can actually get some wins there because it's scary, because people are embarrassed, because people have failed so many times. And so this is the perfect program to really help someone take action and get the accountability, get a coach in their life, get someone that's walked a mile in their shoes, and really kick off their new year with a complete metabolic reset and taking themselves and their life to the next level. Now, what a perfect time to join also the mission as a coach, because we are about ready to disrupt. I mean, not just a pebble in a ripple in an ocean. I'm talking there's about ready to be a massive disruption in our world because people have discovered that quick fixes don't work. People have also discovered that GLP-1s, even though they're amazing, without habit change, without building new habits and building that muscle, that they're actually in worse shape than they were. And what's finding, people are back to being frustrated. And they need something that's going to total last. And so we're building, I feel like, Mike, we're building up this army right now that is like, I'm really just looking to get like, how many people can we just get fit for battle? And that doesn't mean perfection. Fit does not mean perfection, but it's just fit. I want to be mentally sharp. I want to be financially sharp. I want to make a difference in my church. I want to make a difference in my school. I want to make a difference in my community. And that's why it is a perfect time right now to become a coach.
There's never been a better time. There's, you know, this last season we came through with the GLP-1s. We learned a lot of positive things, but it awakened us to this idea that there isn't an easy button that we're going to press, right? There are tools that we can bring in that bring value, but nothing's going to replace lifestyle change, behavioral change, building healthy habits. That's part of it. And we have a solution for that that's fit for real life, right? Most of what I was doing previously, it wasn't that it wasn't sound, it just wasn't fit for real life. I couldn't run 2 kids to practice and do my career and have a life and be healthy. But I was shown a path to be able to do that, so it was fit for us in that season in real life, and we can do it. But you know, there's an awakening happening, and you know, one of the reasons, you know, we're creating awareness about metabolic health, but 50% of the population right now this is a new idea to them. Metabolic health is something that they really haven't heard a lot about. But interestingly enough, when they're informed about it, 84% said, that's what I need. That's what I need. I actually need that. And so we have a solution for that. And we're not saying because that happened, or because, like, sometimes we'll do this with research. Because this research says this, then we can extrapolate it into this. We did this research on our own system, right? We took people through a 16-week journey on our own program and produced these results. I mean, when we're talking about losing 14% of visceral fat in 16 weeks and retaining 98% of lean mass, like the first time you hear that, you're almost like, what? I mean, it's that good. So if you're looking for the perfect time, you just found it. Like it's right now. And what we know is waiting till January is a process that's been proven to fail.
Yes, it has.
We know that. We know that waiting for that moment, because what happens is in our mind, we're thinking that there's something special about that day, right? That all of a sudden life is going to get organized and lined up for us. That's not going to happen, right? What we know is we make the time right. Yeah. And right now is the season to do that. We're on the cutting edge. We're out in front.
We have the science to back it.
Yeah.
We have the science to prove it. And that's why you heard it here first. We are officially leaving the weight loss industry, entering the metabolic fit health era, and it's only about ready to get started.
And that's never going out of style.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Anyway, good stuff. Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Did you get some stuff, Nate?